Look at this operation for a second. Cars rolling down a bright, illuminated tunnel, heavy foam spraying from every angle, high-pressure blowers drying the windshield, and a credit card terminal collecting $25 every 45 seconds. You never leave your seat. The operator never touches the vehicle. To the untrained eye, this looks like the ultimate passive income machine, a multi-million-dollar financial ATM disguised as a retail car wash. The internet love story goes something like this. Buy a piece of suburban land, install an automated conveyor belt, set up an unlimited monthly membership subscription, and let thousands of local commuters fund your early retirement while you play golf on Tuesday afternoons. In fact, private equity firms spent well over $10 billion over the past decade, buying up independent locations, convinced they had found an invincible, recession-proof cash cow. Here is the brutal reality Wall Street and social media gurus refuse to mention. An express tunnel car wash is not a vending machine. It is a highly leveraged, hyper-capital-intensive, micro-manufacturing plant disguised as a service business. You are running high-voltage industrial motors, complex chemical injection arrays, heavy hydraulic belts, and multi-stage water filtration systems in an environment that is continuously wet, highly corrosive, and operating under non-stop mechanical fatigue. When this $4 million machine works, the profit margins look extraordinary. But when a single $300 conveyor bearing seizes on the Saturday morning before Christmas, your entire recurring cash flow turns into a financial emergency in under 15 minutes. Today, we are breaking down the hidden economics, private equity overexpansion, and razor-thin unit realities of owning an automated car wash. To understand why the express tunnel completely wiped out traditional car washes across North America, you have to look at the mathematical evolution of throughput. 50 years ago, cleaning a car meant either a hand wash operation requiring 10 workers scrubbing panels with buckets, or an in-bay rollover machine where a driver parked inside a bay and waited 3 minutes for a mechanical gantry to move back and forth over a single vehicle. A traditional rollover machine tops out at roughly 15 to 20 cars per hour. A hand wash facility requires massive payroll expenditures, insurance exposure for employee injury, and constant human error. Neither model could scale to meet the demand of nearly 290 million registered vehicles traveling on American roads today. The express conveyor tunnel changed the unit economics permanently. By dragging vehicles along a continuous dual-belt conveyor, the system decouples processing time from individual vehicle entry. Multiple cars move through different stages of the wash cycle simultaneously. While Car 1 is getting high-velocity blower drying at the exit, Car 2 is receiving a ceramic sealant coat, Car 3 is getting foam detergent, and Car 4 is pulling onto the conveyor entry roller. At peak operating capacity, a modern 150-foot express tunnel can process up to 200 cars per single hour. The customer stays safely inside their vehicle, eliminating indoor waiting lounges, customer liability claims inside bays, and massive detailing crews. The business converts a slow, physical service into an automated factory line. But replacing human labor with high-speed automation introduces a completely different structural burden: astronomical upfront capital expenditure. Before you order a single piece of stainless steel equipment or buy a single gallon of chemical soap, you have to conquer the most brutal bottleneck in the car wash industry: commercial real estate acquisition. You cannot put a successful express car wash on cheap, hidden industrial land. Car washing is almost entirely an impulse purchase. Nobody wakes up on a Tuesday morning and plans a 5-mile pilgrimage across town specifically to clean their sedan. They wash their car because they drove past a glowing sign on their way home from the grocery store. This impulse-driven reality dictates a hyper-strict real estate playbook. You need a plot of land between 35,000 and 50,000 square feet, located on a commercial artery, seeing between 15,000 and 35,000 vehicles per day. But here is the paradox. You do not want to be directly on a high-speed interstate highway. At 60 miles per hour, a driver passes your location before their brain can register the opportunity to stop. The sweet spot is a secondary arterial road with a speed limit between 25 and 45 miles per hour. That speed profile gives a commuter roughly 40 seconds of continuous visual exposure to read your signage, evaluate the line length, and safely execute a right-hand turn. Crucially, your sight must be on the evening side of the road, the right-hand shoulder carrying commuter traffic returning home from work. Almost nobody crosses 3 lanes of bumper-to-bumper normal rush-hour traffic to get a car wash before going to the office. Finding a prime suburban corner lot near a Walmart, Target, or major grocery anchor in markets like Phoenix, Dallas, or Atlanta will cost anywhere from $700,000 to over $2 million just for the bare dirt. And that is where your financial burn rate begins. Municipalities hate car washes. Local planning boards classify them as high-impact developments that create traffic gridlock, industrial noise pollution, and heavy environmental runoff risks. Getting a conditional use permit, completing civil engineering drainage assessments, conducting traffic impact studies, and securing architectural approvals can easily take 12 to 18 months. During those 18 months, you are paying carrying costs, property taxes, and interest on commercial land loans while earning exactly $0 in revenue. You can burn through hundreds of thousands of dollars in equity capital before a single excavator ever touches your property. Once municipal approvals are secured, you are not building a simple retail shell. You are erecting a specialized industrial structure designed to withstand severe moisture, aggressive chemical exposure, and constant mechanical vibration for decades. Standard commercial building concrete will disintegrate under continuous exposure to acidic soaps, wax runoff, and heavy vehicle traffic. The floor slab inside the tunnel must be ultra-reinforced, poured with specific chemical-resistant additives, and sealed with heavy-duty epoxy coatings. Plumbing systems cannot use residential PVC. They require industrial stainless steel or heavy schedule piping, capable of carrying high-pressure water continuously without bursting. Then there is the power infrastructure. A modern express tunnel operates dozens of high-horsepower electric motors simultaneously. The exit blowers alone, designed to strip water off moving vehicles using massive velocity, frequently feature 6 to 8 separate producer motors, totaling over 150 horsepower. To run this machinery alongside high-pressure water pumps, hydraulic conveyor drives, air compressors, and site lighting, your facility requires an electrical service entrance between 400 and 800 amps at 480 volts of 3-phase industrial power. If the local utility grid lacks capacity at your street corner, bringing 3-phase power to your site can add massive unbudgeted utility extension fees. Outside the tunnel, you must build the vacuum plaza, the primary competitive lure used to convert single-wash customers into recurring club members. A high-volume facility features 15 to 30 dedicated vacuum stalls equipped with overhead steel canopies, dual hose drops, and an underground central turbine suction system. Finally, you must construct massive vehicle stacking capacity. If your entry lanes can only hold 5 cars before reaching the main road, a sudden weekend rush will spill traffic onto the public street. City police will issue citations, and local authorities can shut down your facility for creating a public traffic hazard. You need physical driveway queuing space for 30 to 50 vehicles before the automated pay kiosks. When you combine site preparation, specialized concrete, structural building, electrical infrastructure, asphalt paving, and vacuum canopy installation, total facility construction costs regularly run between $1 million and $1.5 million on top of your land purchase price. Let's talk about the single largest raw material in this entire operation: water. A busy express car wash uses between 30 and 70 gallons of fresh water per vehicle. On a peak summer Saturday with 800 cars rolling through the tunnel, your facility would consume up to 56,000 gallons of water in a single 12-hour shift. If you bought all that water directly from municipal utility lines at standard commercial rates and dumped the dirty runoff down the sewer line, 2 disastrous things would happen. First, your monthly utility bill would completely destroy your operating margins. Second, city environmental inspectors would revoke your operating permit for discharging soapy, oil-laden sludge into the public wastewater infrastructure. This is why every modern express wash is built on top of a sophisticated underground water recycling factory. Beneath the tunnel floor sits a series of massive concrete settling tanks holding thousands of gallons of wastewater. As dirty water drains from the wash bay, gravity pulls heavy solids, road grit, and sludge to the bottom of the first chamber. The remaining liquid cascades into secondary tanks, where oil separators skim off hydrocarbons and mechanical filtration systems pull out suspended particles. Advanced facilities introduce aeration systems or ozone injection to prevent anaerobic bacteria from breeding in the recycled water tanks. Without active bacterial control, recycled water begins to smell intensely like rotten eggs or sulfur. Spraying sulfur-scented recycled water onto a customer's clean luxury vehicle is the single fastest way to destroy a subscription base overnight. A properly engineered reclamation system recovers up to 90% of all water entering the tunnel, recycling it specifically for the high-pressure undercarriage blasts and initial soap washing stages. However, recycled water cannot be used for the final rinse. Recycled water contains microscopic dissolved minerals that leave ugly white water spots on glass and paintwork as it evaporates. The final rinse requires pure fresh water processed through a commercial reverse osmosis system. The reverse osmosis system strips out all dissolved solids, ensuring that when the high-velocity blowers push remaining droplets off the hood, the paint dries completely spotless. Water recycling is no longer just a cost-saving trick. In drought-prone states like California, Nevada, and Texas, possessing a fully certified water reclamation setup is the legal prerequisite for surviving mandatory municipal water cuts during dry seasons. Now, let me reveal the most profitable secret hidden inside the car wash industry: the extraordinary math of chemical upsells. When a customer drives up to your entry kiosk, they are presented with a tiered menu. Typically, there is a basic exterior wash for $12, a mid-tier package with wax and tire shine for $18, and a top-tier premium package featuring ceramic paint sealant and undercarriage rust inhibitor for $25. To the consumer, paying an extra $13 to jump from the basic wash to the premium package feels like upgrading from a standard hotel room to a luxury suite. They assume the operator is using dramatically more expensive technology and spending vastly more money to clean their car. Here are the real unit economics. The concentrated detergent and water used in the basic $12 wash cost the operator roughly 12 cents per vehicle. Adding foaming carnauba wax for the mid-tier option adds about 22 cents of raw chemical cost. Adding automated tire shine application adds roughly 18 cents. Injecting advanced ceramic hydrophobic sealant coat at the final arch adds 45 cents. The total difference in chemical material cost between your basic $12 wash and your premium $25 wash is roughly 63 cents. Yet you are collecting an additional $13 in gross revenue at the point of sale. That represents a gross profit margin on the chemical upgrade exceeding 95%. You are not selling different physical cleaning services. You are selling a slightly different sequence of automated chemical doses that cost virtually nothing extra to execute. The entry kiosk interface is engineered specifically to exploit psychological price anchoring. The highest priced wash or an expensive single wash option priced at $35 or $40 is intentionally placed at the top left of the digital touchscreen. Most customers will not buy the $40 option, but seeing $40 first instantly anchors their perception of value. When their eyes move to the $25 deluxe package, it suddenly feels like a sensible, moderate, high-value choice. The customer who originally pulled in intending to spend $12 voluntarily hands over $25 and drives away feeling like a prudent consumer. While chemical margins are delightfully wide, power consumption is a relentless profit drain. The machinery inside an express tunnel never rests during business hours. A fully operational tunnel consumes between 1.5 and 2.5 kilowatt-hours of electricity per single car wash. On a busy day washing 800 cars, your facility consumes up to 2,000 kilowatt-hours in 12 hours. Monthly electric bills for high-volume suburban locations frequently range between $8,000 and $20,000. However, the real danger in electrical utility pricing is not standard energy consumption, it is peak demand penalties. Every time a massive 75-horsepower electric motor turns on from a dead stop, it draws a massive spike of surge current, frequently 3 to 5 times its continuous operating load for the first few seconds. Commercial utility companies monitor these peak demand spikes. If your equipment triggers a massive power draw at 2 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, the power company sets your utility rate tariff based on that single highest 15-minute window for the entire billing cycle. Peak demand charges can represent up to 50% of your entire monthly electric bill. Smart operators mitigate this by installing variable frequency drives on every major motor. Instead of slamming motors with full electrical voltage instantly, variable frequency drives ramp up motor speed gradually over several seconds, smoothing out electrical demand spikes and saving thousands of dollars in monthly utility penalties. Where the express tunnel truly shines compared to every other retail model is labor efficiency. A traditional full-service hand car wash requires 15 to 30 workers on shift, dragging labor costs up to 40 or 50% of total revenue. You are essentially running a human-intensive staffing agency that happens to clean vehicles. An automated express tunnel can operate with just 3 to 5 employees on site. You need a general manager overseeing site operations and marketing, a skilled maintenance technician capable of repairing hydraulic pumps and sensors, and 2 customer service attendants stationed at the entry lane and vacuum plaza to assist customers and pitch subscriptions. Labor costs at a well-managed express tunnel run between 18 and 25% of gross revenue. This structural labor advantage is precisely why private equity firms fell in love with the industry. If you ask an experienced car wash operator what keeps them awake at night, they will not say property taxes, chemical prices, or labor scheduling. They will give you a single word: maintenance. An express tunnel is a brutal mechanical environment. Equipment operates 8 to 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Heavy cloth brushes spin thousands of times per hour. Hydraulic pumps cycle non-stop under high pressure. Conveyor chains drag 2-ton vehicles continuously over steel guides. And every single component operates in a warm, perpetually wet atmosphere saturated with corrosive chemicals and abrasive road grit. Under these conditions, mechanical degradation is constant. Foam brush segments wear down and must be replaced before bare metal supports scratch a customer's hood. High-pressure pump seals fail. Hydraulic hoses burst. Infrared vehicle tracking sensors drift out of alignment. Conveyor bearings overheat, seize, and snap. Industry benchmarks show that disciplined operators must allocate between 8 and 12% of total gross revenue exclusively to preventive maintenance and capital replacement reserves. On a location bringing in $1.5 million annually, that means spending up to $144,000 every year just to keep the machinery functioning. Skimping on preventive maintenance to artificially boost short-term profit margins is financial suicide. Downtime in the car wash business is an absolute disaster. If your main conveyor drive motor burns out on a rainy Tuesday morning, it is a minor inconvenience. But if your main conveyor drive motor burns out at 10 o'clock on a sunny Saturday morning before a holiday weekend, when 47 vehicles are queued in your entry lanes and every member in town is trying to wash their car, you lose your highest revenue period of the month. Frustrated customers will back out of your lanes, drive 3 miles down the road to your newest competitor, and sign up for their monthly membership instead. In this industry, an equipment breakdown does not just cost you repair parts, it permanently destroys customer lifetime value. For decades, the car wash business was crippled by a fundamental vulnerability: weather dependency. If it rained for 2 consecutive weekends in April, a car wash owner could see their monthly revenue collapse by 60%. You are paying fixed land mortgages, equipment debt, and base property taxes regardless of whether the sun was shining. Then, the industry engineered its greatest financial masterstroke: the unlimited monthly wash club. Instead of selling a single wash for $15, you offer customers unlimited monthly washes for $35 or $40 charged automatically to their credit card every 30 days. To the consumer, it sounds like an incredible bargain. If they wash their car just 3 times a month, the membership pays for itself. To the operator, it completely transforms the financial model. The average unlimited club member does not visit 30 times a month. They visit between 2 and 2.8 times per month. At 2 visits, the operator collects $40 in subscription revenue while incurring less than $8 in total variable costs for chemicals, power, and water. More importantly, that $40 subscription fee hits your bank account automatically on the first of the month. Whether it rains, snows, or stays sunny, and regardless of whether the customer actually drives through the tunnel that month, the subscription model converts an unpredictable, weather-dependent impulse business into a predictable, recurring software-like revenue engine. Look at Mr. Car Wash, the largest corporate chain in the United States with over 500 locations. In their financial disclosures, subscriptions generated roughly 76% of their total wash revenue, backed by over 2.3 million active recurring members. When Wall Street private equity firms saw these numbers, they went crazy. Institutional investors realized they could buy independent car washes, generating $300,000 in cash flow, install subscription kiosks, bundle them into regional corporate networks, and resell the entire portfolio to public markets at massive valuation multiples. Between 2015 and 2023, private equity poured over $10 billion into building national car wash chains, sparking an unprecedented construction boom across American suburbs. When Wall Street capital floods a localized retail sector, overexpansion is virtually guaranteed. Driven by cheap debt and aggressive growth targets, private equity-backed operators began building express tunnels at a frantic pace. At the peak of the boom in 2023, the industry was adding 800 to 900 brand new express tunnels every single year. It did not take long for suburban markets to reach extreme saturation. Towns that previously supported 1 or 2 profitable independent car washes suddenly found themselves with 4 or 5 massive express tunnels operating within a 3-mile radius, all competing for the exact same local commuters. When supply wildly exceeds demand, a price war breaks out. Chains began slashing promotional subscription rates down to $15 or even $9 for the first month to poach members from competitors. Customer churn spiked as drivers continuously cancelled memberships at one tunnel to jump to the newest promotional deal across the street. Average membership revenue per user began to drop, while interest rates on the massive debt used to build those locations climbed rapidly. The financial hangover was catastrophic. In February of 2025, Zips Car Wash, one of the largest chains in the nation, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection, crushed under $653 million in debt accumulated during its hyper-aggressive roll-up spree. Driven Brands, a corporate conglomerate that spent nearly $3 billion building a nationwide car wash portfolio, admitted defeat and sold its entire U.S. car wash division to Whistle Express for just $385 million, wiping out well over $2 billion in shareholder value. The collapse was not caused by a failure in car washing fundamentals. The unit economics at a single, well-placed location remained solid. The collapse was caused by corporate financial engineering, overpaying for real estate, over-leveraging balance sheets with high-interest debt, and foolishly assuming that every suburban corner could support a $4 million automated tunnel. Let's strip away the corporate drama and look at what the actual financial statement looks like for an individual store operator today. Imagine you invest $3.9 million to open a single express tunnel location, allocating $1.5 million for prime commercial land, $1.2 million for specialized building construction, and $800,000 for top-tier tunnel machinery and smart payment kiosks. In an ideal, best-case scenario, you secure an exceptional site on a high-traffic commuter corridor in an underserved suburban market. Over the first 18 months, your team patiently builds a loyal, recurring base of 1,500 unlimited club members. Your location reaches a steady state of washing roughly 120,000 vehicles per year, generating $1.8 million in total gross revenue. Because your facility is running efficiently, your total operating expenses consume 58% of every dollar brought in. Labor takes 20%, power and water utility bills take 8%, chemical supplies consume 6%, preventive maintenance reserves take 9%, property taxes take 3%, insurance takes 2%, and local marketing takes 10%. This leaves you with an annual operating cash flow of roughly $756,000. Now, subtract your annual debt service. Assuming you borrowed $3 million at prevailing commercial interest rates, your annual principal and interest payments total roughly $320,000. After paying the bank, your single location yields a clean pre-tax net profit of $436,000 per year. At that return rate, you pay off your initial equity investment in under 7 years, creating a highly profitable, sustainable local business. Now, let me show you the realistic saturation trap. 18 months after you open, a giant private equity competitor builds a massive brand new express tunnel just 1 mile down the road. They launch a hyper-aggressive promotional campaign offering unlimited washes for $10 a month. Your membership growth stalls at 800 members. To prevent mass cancellations, you are forced to cut your subscription prices, shrinking your top-line annual revenue down to $1.2 million. Meanwhile, your fixed costs do not care about your lower revenue. Property taxes remain identical. Your land mortgage payment remains $320,000 every year. Equipment maintenance runs higher than expected because local water hardness accelerates scale buildup inside your pumps. Your operating costs now consume 67% of your reduced revenue, leaving you with just $396,000 in operating cash flow. After handing $320,000 to your commercial lender for debt service, your net pre-tax profit drops to just $76,000 per year. On a $4 million capital commitment, you are earning less than a standard entry-level manager's salary while bearing massive mechanical risk and personal debt guarantees. If you enter this business as a single-site independent operator, you are fighting a brutal structural battle against corporate chains. A regional operator running 20 locations buys concentrated chemicals in bulk tote quantities directly from manufacturers, securing discount pricing that is 20 to 30% lower than what you pay as a single-site buyer. Their dedicated in-house maintenance technicians rotate across sites daily, fixing broken conveyor belts and pump seals at base hourly wages. When your single tunnel breaks down, you have to call outside third-party equipment contractors who charge emergency service call-out rates of $200 an hour. Furthermore, corporate chains possess a massive competitive advantage in subscription marketing. A multi-site chain offers an unlimited wash membership that is valid at 15 different locations across the metropolitan area. A commuter can wash their car near their office during lunch or near their home on Sunday afternoon. Your single-site membership is only valid at your specific street corner. To survive as an independent, you cannot rely on passive automation. Successful independent operators win by focusing on fanatical site execution, keeping the vacuum plaza impeccably clean, training attendants to deliver warm personal customer interactions, maintaining flawless chemical formulations, and constantly monitoring mechanical health before breakdowns occur. The automated car wash industry generated over $20 billion in revenue last year. It remains one of the most fascinating, cash-generative, and structurally resilient sectors in modern retail engineering. People love clean cars. Vehicles are staying on the road longer than at any point in modern history, and nobody wants to spend their Saturday morning scrubbing wheels with a garden hose. Extremely lucrative fortunes are being built in this industry right now, but those fortunes belong to operators who understand that an express tunnel is a complex, capital-intensive manufacturing business that requires fanatical site selection, disciplined preventive maintenance, precise chemical management, and patient subscription building. The investors who lost hundreds of millions of dollars over the last 3 years were those who bought into the social media fairy tale of passive income. They thought they could borrow millions of dollars, erect a tunnel, walk away, and watch automated subscription checks hit their bank accounts while sleeping. The machinery inside the tunnel will scrub the paint, apply the wax, and blow away the water droplets automatically. But the machinery will never manage your utility demand charges, negotiate your land lease, fix a seized conveyor bearing at 6 in the morning, or retain your membership base when a competitor opens across the street. The conveyor belt cleans the car. It is up to you to run the business. Thank you for watching the World Money Desk. If you found this deep dive analysis valuable, make sure to hit the subscribe button, leave a like, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. We will see you in the next documentary.